My mom hid my twins' engagement from EBC. I bring tension I found out through tagged photos while I was still sending family money every month. So I finally gave them what they wanted. My twin sister Becca and I used to be inseparable. We shared a room until we were 18, finished each other's sentences, had that weird twin connection where I'd feel sick when she was upset, but everything changed when I moved across the country for a job 3 years ago. At first, the distance was hard but manageable. Weekly video calls, family group chats, the usual stuff. I was making good money as a nurse in Seattle, while the rest of my family stayed in Ohio. When my dad got laid off last year, I didn't even hesitate. I started sending $800 a month to help with bills. My mom cried on the phone saying I was saving them. Dad said he'd pay me back when things got better. Becca texted me heart emojis and called me the best sister ever. For 14 months straight, I sent that money like clockwork, never missed a single payment. I skipped vacations, drove an old car, ate cheap groceries so my family could stay afloat. But I started noticing things. The weekly video calls became monthly, then every other month. My texts would go unanswered for days. When I'd ask about visiting for Christmas, my mom would say it wasn't a good time, too stressful, maybe next year. I figured everyone was just busy and dealing with their own stuff. Then last Tuesday, I was scrolling through Instagram during my lunch break. One of Becca's college friends had posted a photo from what looked like a fancy dinner party. The caption said, "So happy for my girl and her future husband. Can't wait for the wedding." I almost dropped my phone. I zoomed in on the photo. There was Becca, sitting at the head of a long table, wearing a sparkling ring on her left hand. Next to her was this guy I'd never seen before in my life. My mom was in the background, laughing and holding up a champagne glass. My dad was there too, arm around some woman I didn't recognize. The whole family was celebrating my twin sister's engagement, and I had no idea it was even happening. I scrolled through more tagged photos. There were dozens of them. Pictures of the proposal at some fancy restaurant, pictures of a ring shopping trip with my mom, pictures of Becca and her fiancé at family dinners I was never invited to. Some of these photos were dated back 4 months. My hands were shaking as I called my mom. She didn't answer. I called Becca, straight to voicemail. I texted the family group chat asking what was going on. 3 hours of silence. Finally, my mom called me back that evening. She sounded annoyed, not guilty, just annoyed. I asked her why nobody told me Becca was engaged. Her answer made me feel like I'd been punched in the stomach. "We didn't want any tension," she said. "You always have opinions about everything, and Becca wanted her moment to be happy without you making it about yourself." I couldn't even speak. I asked what tension she was talking about. She brought up a fight Becca and I had 2 years ago over something stupid I couldn't even remember. Said I always had to be the center of attention. Said the family was more peaceful without me around. Meanwhile, I'd been sending them $800 every single month. I asked my mom if they still needed my help with bills since dad got laid off. She got quiet for a second. Then she said, "Well, your father actually found a new job about 6 months ago. We just didn't want you to stop sending money since you offered." 6 months. My dad had been employed for 6 months while I kept sending money I thought they desperately needed. Money I could have used to visit them. Money I could have saved or spent on myself. They took it anyway and didn't even invite me to my own twin sister's engagement party. I told my mom I understood. Said I was sorry for causing tension. Wished Becca congratulations on her engagement. My mom sounded relieved. Said she was glad I was being mature about it. Then I told her this month's payment would be my last. She laughed and said that was fine since they didn't really need it anymore anyway. The next morning, I logged into my bank account and canceled the automatic transfer. Then I calculated exactly how much I'd sent over 14 months. It came out to $11,200. I wrote a long email to my entire family. I didn't yell or curse or say anything mean. I just laid out the facts. The money I'd sent thinking they were struggling. The job my dad got 6 months ago that nobody mentioned. The engagement I found out about through Instagram. The 4 months of celebration I was deliberately excluded from. I told them they said I brought tension, so I was removing myself completely. No more money, no more texts, no more calls. I said if Becca wanted me at her wedding, she knew how to reach me, but I wouldn't be holding my breath. I sent the email and then blocked every single one of them on everything. My phone, my social media, my email, all of it. That was 3 weeks ago. My cousin texted me from a different number, saying the family was furious. I aired everything out, that my mom was telling everyone I abandoned them over a misunderstanding, that Becca cried when she read my email. I blocked that number too. Last week, I used the $800 I would have sent them to book a vacation to Hawaii. First real vacation I've taken in 3 years. They wanted me gone, so I'm gone.